Nigerian equities market all-share index is up 9.5% year to date. Meanwhile, it appears the Zenith Bank board resolution is having an impact on the market at midday today, as the bank was among the top stocks by value. Muktar Mohammed, an analyst at Assar Investments, joins me now to discuss the activities in the market today. Thank you so much for your time on the show today, Muktar. And let's first get to what we're seeing play out with this annual general meeting. Seems to be the season right now.
Definitely a good season for investors, and knowing that cash is king, especially in an economy like Nigeria, where a lot of opportunity abound during times of economic difficulties like insecurity and cost of borrowing. So it's a big time for a big opportunity for investors when they get this cash dividend, and getting a good cash dividend from Zenith Bank is one of the best things that has happened to the market along with in the banking sector. They keep on raising the bar. They've paid up. I mean, they've added another one to that by paying 3 naira 10 kobo from 3 naira they've done last year. So it's very positive for investors. And like you said, you saw that play out in terms of value, because most of the investors are also reinvesting those dividends into Zenith Bank shares, especially, and other very, very liquid shares, and also very good shares.
Yeah, because the 2 naira 80 kobo added to the earlier 30 kobo, that makes that 3 naira 10 kobo there. Let's get into what we're seeing play out in how investors are trying to position in this second quarter.
Well, you see that happen again. Remember that Zenith Bank will also give the half-year dividends also, and you expect the half-year dividend to be maybe the normal 30 kobo, or if they up the game, it could be something different, and that could be a game changer. Not only Zenith Bank, you see that happen to GTCO also when it comes out with their own. You also see that play out with Access Holding. You also see that play, especially with the Taiwan market, with UBA also. And so you continue to see that play out, and investors begin to look at good entry point, like what they've seen in Zenith and Gitco. They've seen a lot of good entry points in those stocks, especially some of them are selling at their all-time low for the past 6 weeks or thereabout. So investors are beginning to look at that and begin to take position, especially when you look at the dividend yield in comparable to other financial instruments. You want to get in there on time, especially when the price is right.
Well, now let's get into some other activity we're seeing more of in the market now. We're seeing a lot of corporates tap into the debt capital market. Now we saw Presco with their bond issuance, about 34.5 billion there issued yesterday. I was in Edo State beginning to cover that story. And also we're seeing MTN Nigeria come up with their twin series commercial paper as well. What do you make of these of corporates tapping into the market at this time?
Very good for the market, confident for the market. And you remember that some of these corporate, the debts they are getting for the market is cheaper than what they will get from other financial institutions, knowing that cost of funding has gone high because of the economic situation that we are facing here in Nigeria. So they are beginning to look at the bond market, and it's a good market. So I mean, looking at the long time payment plan also for some of these bonds. So it's really helping them. Also, they are looking at the bond market also to take care of immediate short-term needs. And I think it's very good for the market. It's bringing confidence back to the market, and also is beginning to, it may at the end of the day bring down the cost of borrowing other financial instrument, because if most of the companies are beginning to look at that through the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And you also, is a good thing for us also, because we are seeing what used to be only government coming in to get government bond. We are beginning to see the private sector bond, the corporate bonds are beginning to come. It could be a game changer, and you know how it plays in this part of the country, in this part of the world, especially Africa and Nigeria. When one starts coming, then you should know that others are also getting ready to come.
All right, let's talk about some short-term shocks like you earlier alluded to. Now we're seeing that play out in the telecom space here. MTN coming with that twin series commercial paper, but then coming at a time where we're seeing the subscribers being barred over that NIN-SIM linkage brouhaha that has played out so far in the market. I'd like you to speak to the implications here.
Well, Kennedy, the implication is already high, and if you look at their last earnings that came out, especially from the telecom sector, you realize that they said a lot of their customers have been cut off and a lot of lines are idle. Remember that sometimes some of these lines are not idle because they belong to terrorists, but sometimes they belong to Nigerians that are not always in the country, and so when they come into the country, they try to make use of this line, and some of them want this line to be active when they are away. So they still they do in one way or the other try to load those lines to make it active so that when they come back, they don't have to say those lines are no more active. And unfortunately, those lines were cut off because of the NIN. And also, I think, again, you need to look at the proactive of some of the telecom companies, especially the one that is listed in the exchange, the MTN, because what they've done also is to send their staffs out there to make sure that customers that get their line cut are reconnected immediately, creating a lot of like places where they can come to get their NIN registered with their number and get their number active immediately. And I think that was a proactive decision by MTN. And so what would that do to the bottom line? Maybe in the short term, we might see that playing out in the bottom line, but we'll wait to see the first quarter result coming out.
Okay.
But you know that has played out already in the year-end result. But I think in the first quarter result, it might not be that much because they have taken those proactive measures by making sure that they reconnect some of those subscribers lines that have been disconnected.
All right, Muktar.